This is crucial to the whole story, guys. And I want to really go deep into this conversation. Yes, CM Punk is back. Yes, he said he's home. We get all that. Stop and think about this all on your own for 1 second. Digest what I'm about to say. Cody Rhodes, that wanted out of his contract in WWE and was very vocal in the WWE documentary that came out on Peacock, that he hated his time there towards the end. Stardust, all that. He hated it all. He wanted out. He wanted to stick it to WWE. He wanted to rebrand himself. He wanted to rebuild himself. And he did just that everywhere else and proved his worth. Cody Rhodes went ahead along with the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and a few others, including Tony Khan. And they created AEW, All Elite Wrestling. And that was his response to WWE and everything that was WWE. CM Punk, ultimately anti-WWE, left, walked out on the company, didn't want to be there, didn't care to be there, did the Stone Cold, took the ball home, if you will. Remember when Stone Cold didn't want to fold for Brock Lesnar? He just walked out on Monday Night Raw. Well, CM Punk did the same thing the night after Royal Rumble. And for whatever reason, one thing led to another, unprofessional, professional, hard to work with, toxic, whatever. CM Punk had issues backstage at AEW. Cody Rhodes had issues backstage at AEW. And if you want to throw this guy into the mix now, we can. QT Marshall, one of Cody Rhodes' friends, who was a writer and a head producer in AEW and a head trainer in AEW, also had creative differences and just recently walked out saying that he's done with them and they parted ways. Jade Cargill was offered everything that she wanted, and she, look at her character in AEW. She was undefeated forever. She never lost a belt until recently. And she didn't re-sign with them. So you have QT Marshall, you have CM Punk, you have Cody Rhodes. All people who wanted to succeed and wanted to thrive with AEW. All of a sudden, all of them are in WWE. Except for QT Marshall. QT Marshall is obviously just now leaving AEW. Lord knows where he's going to end up and what he's going to do. I know that he still trains and has students to train in his own school of wrestling and stuff like that. But what I'm trying to say here, guys, is simple. As fans, we're always going to choose sides. As fans, we're going to stick up for whatever we think we know. Truth of the matter is, we don't know what the hell these people are living through and what they see behind the scenes. Ultimately, I don't blame Bryan Danielson for wanting CM Punk out of AEW. Because if a lot of people had issues with CM Punk, then you got to get rid of the common issue backstage. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to fault Bryan Danielson for voting for him to get out, or Tony Khan even for letting him go. It didn't work out. But the fact of the matter is this. People, don't lose trend and thought here of what I'm trying to say. People like Cody Rhodes that built up AEW. People like CM Punk that wanted to push AEW forward. Guys like that came back to WWE where they thought they'd never go back. Doesn't that speak for itself? Do you really need a breakdown? Do you really need to be spoon-fed information? Is it not clear as day that there's something going on that we just don't really know about? Cody has no beef with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. He still says that those are his boys and he loves them and he shouts them out in interviews all the time. He's not bitter. He just said that there was, things they couldn't resolve when he was, negotiating and talking to Tony Khan, and that they moved on. Cody Rhodes worked for AEW for like a whole 2 months without an actual contract and was getting paid based on appearances at that point in time while they were negotiating. Imagine. That's how badly he wanted to stay there. So the fact that CM Punk returned at Survivor Series, didn't say a word, and the WWE Universe ended up spreading, the CM Punk rage online. The fact that CM Punk cut a half-baked promo for 5 minutes on Monday Night Raw, and the WWE Universe hasn't stopped talking about it since. That's why CM Punk belongs in pro wrestling somewhere, right? The wrestling gods wrote this in a weird way where Survivor Series was in Chicago at the perfect time for him to end up back in WWE and do what he's about to do on his final run before he fully retires. It's crazy to think that this is where we're at in 2023 in the world of pro wrestling. It's even crazier for people to still ultimately, choose a side here when everyone had a role to play and it's just not a one-sided thing. There's two sides to every story. I just think it's laughable. The internet community, the community in the internet, the wrestling community is just sometimes it's the best place to be in on earth, and sometimes it's the most toxic, worst place to be on at the same time. I know I'm part of the conversation here. I'm adding to the conversation here, but it's just hilarious. Guys, use your logic, use common sense here. It took AEW and all the shit that went on backstage over there for CM Punk to want to go back to WWE. That says a lot. He's home. He's back. Get over it.